Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Beta and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and join our little crew here. And with that being said, let's get into today's video. Well, hi everyone and happy Friday. I have been so excited to actually film this video because I've spent even more time, obviously, since Wednesday's video went up, reading you guys' comments and just being so warmed up from the inside out at how lovely you guys are. I cannot tell you just how much I've enjoyed reading the things that you guys have to say about me and my channel, Mr. Simple for when he's here. And it's also really fun to see some of you who've been watching my channel since the very beginning, but you just only commented for the first time, or which no shade. Like I totally understand. Sometimes you just kind of lurk on a channel and you don't really offer up a comment, but I'm so excited to see you guys in the comments when you do. And then even for those of you who've just joined in on my channel here, I'm excited that you're here and you're with us too, because my channel is actually still very young. We're not even a year old. We're not even a toddler yet here at The Simple Budget. So anyways, thank you guys again so much for your kindness and just for warming me up from the inside out. It has been so spectacular to see and read what you guys have to say. So anyways, we are going to be doing oh, that's my daughter in the background. She's reading, by the way. She's not even playing. She's just reading enthusiastically. This is our weekly check-in. And so if you are new to my channel, if this happens to be the first video of mine you're ever watching, when we cash stuff these envelopes, if we happen to make a debit purchase that comes from one of these categories that we do cash stuff for, we have to take this money out of here and return it to the bank. I am often asked, how do you know when you're out what you can spend and what you can't spend because you don't have your envelopes with you? That is a great question, and obviously one that I get all the time. I just know because I'm sort of always in these envelopes. At this point, I probably handle my budget more closely than your average person just because I create content with it. And so I'm much more aware of kind of what's going on. But also, I have, despite what I would have said when I first started this channel, I'm not particularly spendy anymore, which is so, so weird. Not that I don't want to. I definitely have to stop myself. I don't look at social media as much anymore, especially like Instagram and Pinterest, because those were absolute death traps for me as far as spending is concerned. Like I would see a cute outfit and want to go searching for the pieces in it and finding it and then buying it. And that's how you end up in lots and lots of debt, in case you're wondering. So because we don't really spend that much, the most spending that we do on any given day is for groceries. So that's part of why I'm also not particularly concerned about going over in the envelopes. And then also, and you'll see this from time to time on my channel, if we do happen to go over what we have in an envelope in any one week, as long as we don't really go over for the month, we don't overspend for the month, then it's not that big of a deal because we'll just stuff it less the next week. So anyways, enough of me rambling. I'm going to zoom you guys in and get into the expense tracking for the week. Alrighty, so actually first and foremost, this expense tracker, I just pulled this out of my budget planner that I just had on the screen with you guys. This pretty guy right here. This one is actually, the actual binder itself is from, oh gosh, you guys are really zoomed in there, sorry. This binder itself is actually from Jumping Fox Design. I'll go ahead and leave it linked down below, but then the interior is all of my budget planner, which is in my Etsy shop, which is also linked below. My expense tracker is available as a singular document, so you can just purchase the expense tracker that you can print over and over and over and over again. It is available in US letter and A5 sizes. And then it's also part of my monthly budget planner. I did that one as basically 31 pages, 10 of which are expense tracking pages. And it's all the things that you're going to need for a month of budgeting, which can also be printed over and over and over again. And for those of you who prefer digital things, I have a digital budget planner that is also available in my shop. It's an annual budget planner, and it can be used over and over again every year in notes apps, a variety of different notes apps that you can download to your tablet. So anyways, that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right into the expense tracking for this week. Or last week. So first up was on the 27th. All of this stuff up here is from last week, and we've already reconciled that. But first up here was on the 27th, and I just put work here because I purchased something from work for my son for Christmas. So it's going to be coming out of our Christmas envelope. And with my wicked awesome employee discount, the total came to $9.74. And so I'm going to be returning $10 to the bank. And if you are new here, the change overage is something that my husband tracks, and we put it in kind of like a miscellaneous account buffer online coin jar is what we call it. And then if we have like a random miscellaneous expense that doesn't really fit well into any category of our budget, we will just pull from that. Or my husband will occasionally throw some of the change at a different purchase here or there within our budget if it, suits the need at the time. So anyways, my husband's spreadsheet is a regular topic of conversation here at the Simple Budget, and it is something that we are really trying to figure out if there's a way that we can kind of showcase how he does it. We have not found a good way of doing it so far, which is why you will not find that video description on my channel, but we're trying to see if there's a way that we can accomplish that, because so many of you are spreadsheet people too, like him. I'm a paper person, which is why I have it written out like this, but we both work in conjunction with one another. So that's another thing too. His spreadsheet and my expense tracking with the cash kind of work really well together. So anyways, moving on. Also on the 27th, we went to the local plant nursery tree farm that I'm always railing about here on the shop, on the channel that I love so much. And we picked up pumpkins for the kids that day. And you'll notice that I have here thanks. It's going to be actually, that money is going to come from our Thanksgiving envelope. I'll explain why in a minute. The purchase was $14.07. I'm just going to be returning $14 to the bank because my husband pulled 7 cents from the coin jar to cover this purchase. So here's why it's coming from Thanksgiving and not from Halloween. One, we weren't sure how much money we had left in the Halloween envelope, if we were going to even have enough to cover this expense. We couldn't remember. The other reason actually is because we had some friends message us this past week and ask what we were doing for Thanksgiving. We said we didn't have any plans, that we were just going to do something at home, and they invited us over. So that means that our Thanksgiving budget can be significantly reduced. And so we'll probably put some of that overage toward Christmas, just in case. But then also we were like, well, we can pull the $14 from Thanksgiving to cover that, because now it looks like I'll probably just be making maybe like a charcuterie board or a side or two. Definitely pies though, and maybe a cheesecake, because I just can't control myself when it comes to Thanksgiving baking. Like I'm like, okay, well, I have to make an apple pie. Well, if I'm going to make an apple pie, I have to make a pumpkin pie. And if I'm going to make a pumpkin pie, I have to make a pecan pie, because Mr. Simple's favorite is a pecan pie. And if I'm going to make the pecan pie, I may as well make the cinnamon pie. This is how my brain works. Don't get in my mind. I'm like a living, breathing, walking if you give a mouse a cookie. So anyways, so that's why we're pulling this for Thanksgiving instead of Halloween, because we weren't really sure how the numbers were going to work out. And we've got the wiggle room in Thanksgiving now. So that is that. Next up was on the 30th. And it was from Michael's, and it's coming from the back to school envelope. It's $2.15. We're returning $2 to the bank because my husband pulled the 15 cents from the coin jar. And this was actually because my daughter had a little school project. She had to make an instrument out of something from home, and I had to have 3 different tones and all of this sort of stuff. I was like, this is far more complicated than a second grader should be asked to do, but here we find ourselves. And so my husband went to Michael's to get a variety of rubber bands in different sizes so that he could facilitate that. And so that's what that ended up coming out to. Next up was a gas station purchase. I got gas for my little trip that I went on the 30th. The total was $19.45. I have a line drawn through here because I'm just going to deplete my envelope and return the entirety of what's there to the bank, because my husband and I crunched all of the numbers. For those of you who haven't been here over the last couple of weeks, I went on a little weekend trip this past weekend. Just me, myself, and I. A little mommy respite there, if you will. I went down to Waco. It was fantastic. I mean, I stayed in the DFW area for a little bit of it, and then I went into Waco for a little bit of it and just enjoyed myself. So anyways, so this was like the gas for that trip. And so I'm just going to be emptying my envelope today, returning that money to the bank, and then stuffing it a little bit less through the month of November as well. And that's going to make up for the totality of the expenses of my trip. Because I'm a spender, but I wasn't particularly spending. I just wanted to try like different restaurants and stuff. So, and cafes. Next up, because we all saw this one coming, on the 30th, we had a Target purchase. The total was $50.56, and it broke down as follows. 35 of it came from Halloween, because we ended up figuring out that we did actually have the money that we needed for that from Halloween. $4 of it was toiletries. I bought some nail polish remover. Not that, well, I mean, those of you who on my channel are saying, we like that you always have chippy nails. I'm like, well, then you must really love my channel, because I either don't have nail polish on or very chippy nail polish. So y'all are too sweet. Anyway, so I got nail polish remover because I needed more of that. I do give myself a really nice pedicure about once a month. I mean, I do it for myself. And you know, that doesn't really chip, but you guys don't ever get to see my toes. Okay. Nobody wants to see my toes. Anyway, next up, last up for this one was household for $11.56. I literally cannot remember what this was that was from household to tell you. I got nothing. So I'm returning $12 to the bank because the total came to $11.56, and that's just how we handle those. Next up, also on the 30th, was also another gas purchase that was part of my trip. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm just depleting my envelope in its entirety. Oh my gosh, you guys, I have to tell you about this. So on the 30th, I went into this little cafe called Karmic Grounds, and I am absolutely saying their name on my channel in the hopes that you will never, ever, 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 if you are in the DFW area, ever go there. Ever. Don't do it. I got some food and a coffee, and I'm funny at specialty coffee shops. I always am convinced, like, I'm going to get a good cup of coffee here. They actually know what they're doing here. So I ordered a pour over coffee. Pour over, if you're unfamiliar, just extracts a little bit more flavor from the coffee grounds. I think if you do like a French press or a pour over, you just get a more flavorful cup of coffee doing it that way. And I waited, I'm not even kidding you, 30 minutes for my cup of coffee. 30 minutes. Pour over does not take that long. It takes between 5 to 10 minutes if they're busy. Certainly not 30. And it was the most mediocre cup of coffee I think I've ever had. I definitely would have had a better cup of coffee from Starbucks, which are notoriously actually bad at making coffee, unless you are at one of their reserve locations or their roaster, like the coffee roast locations for Starbucks. They actually have baristas who know what they're doing there. But it was just a terrible, terrible, awful cup of coffee. So if you are ever anywhere and you're looking up for like a local coffee shop in like the DFW area, please, please don't ever go into Karmic Grounds, ever. It was such a miserable experience. It was so bad. I gave them a bad Google review when I was in the restaurant still. It was that bad. Anyways, enough ranting and rambling about that. And that is it for our October purchases. And then we just have a couple little November purchases to go over here. First up was a DoorDash purchase. Let me just, oh yeah, you can still see. On November 1st, my poor husband came down with an awful stomach bug. And this was while I was still away. And he was so sick that he couldn't even like go into DoorDash and order food for the kids for dinner. Like he just couldn't, like he couldn't focus. His brain hurt, his head hurt, his whole body hurt from this stomach bug. So he shot me a text and he was like, can you please DoorDash food for the kids? So I did. And I mean, he was like, when he saw the cost of it, he was like, oh my gosh, I should have just gone. It costs so much money. So it was $55.91 because, you know, DoorDash just has no control with like fees and things like that. And so we'll be taking $56 back to the bank. And then finally, on the 2nd, the long-awaited finance coach purchase finally hit. Just in case you're new to my channel, the finance coach is actually, it's a guy that we pay an annual fee to, like an annual subscription fee to. And he watches the stock markets and he makes recommendations for where to move your retirement funds into. And so we always follow his advice, and he's always very, very accurate. And we find that it's definitely worth the $60 annual service that we pay him for. And so this finally hit. This is just like a monthly sinking fund. We put $5 a month at it, and it finally hit. So we're going to have to pull that one out as well and return it to the bank, which is fun. It's so fun. It's like, oh, we've been saving for this for, you know, the whole year, and now it's finally hitting and we have the money there for it. We don't have to like scramble to find it from somewhere. So that's always exciting. So anyways, what we're going to do now is zoom out, and then we will go ahead and add all of the cash up that we expect to have at the end of pulling it from my envelopes here and get to unstuffing the cash. So I am just going to go ahead and zoom you guys right through this process where I add up all of this cash. And then I will unzoom, and then we'll go ahead and unstuff everything. So here we go. All right. So at the end of this, we should have $385, and that is predicated entirely on my memory of what I had in my envelope as well. Because as I mentioned before, we're going to be depleting my envelope. So I'm going to just go ahead and pop into that one first, since I'm not like technically checking any of that off here, and make sure that my number was accurate. I thought that I should have $192 in there. So we're about to find out if I do. Otherwise, I'm going to have to amend what I should think that I have at the end of this. So here we go. So hers, we're pulling all of the cash out of here. Here we go. Let me just add this up really quickly. So 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 50, 60, 70, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90, 1, and 2. Okay, so I was right. So at the end, including this, I should have $385. Where did my cash tray go? Oh my goodness. Right off to the side. Let me just scoot this around and put my cash. Whoops, I'm just throwing stuff around. I cannot be trusted with sleeves, evidently. 20s, 10s, and 1s. Okay. Since I've already got low priority sinking funds here, I am going to just pop in really quickly and see if there's anything else. Those are all high priority. Oh, Dine Out. 56 from Dine Out. 20, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No way. When does that ever happen on my channel? Hold on. Let's just 20, 40, 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 56. Look at that. I had exact change. It's almost too good to be true. And now we've got $20 left in poor little Dine Out. Sigh. Sigh, sigh, sigh. I'm gonna have to move this over. Where did that go? Dine out, dine out, dine out. Oh no, that was on November's. So we have 0, poor little dine out. And then where's my last one? I guess I'll just put a 0 through here just because, you know, now we know. Okay, so let's go into high priority really quickly because we do have a couple from there. Not Christmas, not Thanksgiving, not back to school. Toiletries, I'm pulling $4 from. I think I have the exact ones for that too. Yep. Actually, let's just do a 5 and bring back a 1 since we have enough ones over here to begin with. Now in toiletries, oh my gosh, why did they do this? Now in toiletries, I have 10, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 28. So 28 in toiletries is what I have left. Where'd he go? There we go. 28 and put a little check mark there. And then household, I need to grab $12 from there. 10, I know I have the ones, 11, 12. Oh, I didn't even count. What's left in household? 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 50 left in household. There it is. So I've got 50 left. Put a little check mark there. Oh, wait. No, those are all. And then finance coach is also in high priority sinking funds. And I'm pulling 60 from here. There we go. 60. And we've got 5 left, and this is toward next year. So that's nice. Already a month ahead. I just had that. Oh, there we go. Finance coach. There's 5 left. We paid that. Oh, I paid dine out too. I just didn't put a check mark next to it. And then we just have to go into the holiday sinking funds and grab a couple things here. We had actually back to school. This is the most shopping we've ever done from this binder ever, I think. So I have these in order of holiday, in case you've ever wondered. Back to school is up first, and I'm grabbing $2. 2 whole dollars. I figured that was gonna happen. So give a 5 and pull back 1, 2, 3. So now in back to school, we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, and 94. 94 in back to school. 94, put a check mark. And then Halloween is 35. 20, oh, so I'll put 40 and bring back 5. So we have a little bit left over, I guess. 5, 6, 7, 8 left in Halloween toward next year. That's good. What did I just say? 8? You guys are probably ready to throw me out the window. $8 left in Halloween, and we paid that one. And then Thanksgiving, we're pulling $14 from. Oh, there we go. 15, pull back 1. And now in Thanksgiving, we have 150, 70, 85, 86. So 186 in Thanksgiving. So we might move the whole amount over to Christmas just cause. 186. There we go, 186. I think we probably will end up doing that because this month's Thanksgiving stuffing is actually for next year's Thanksgiving. And I realized that we could put this money towards next year's Thanksgiving and then we don't have to save up for it. But my husband and I just really want to make sure that Christmas is buffered. So better to have the money there and not need it than to need it and not have it, you know? So last up, I'm pretty sure for the day is going to be this $10 that I need to pull for Christmas. Oh, here, pull back the 10. So now on Christmas, we have 2,000 in the bank, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. So 2019 and November's stuffing for Christmas is the last stuffing for 2023. So 2019, I bet you all thought that I was going to forget that. I did too. Okay, so that covers everything that we were supposed to pay back. We're just going to give this account really quick to make sure that we have $385 here. And then if that's that, y'all are done with me for the week. So here we go. 50, I'm off to a great start. 50, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 300, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 65, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So $385. It's all here. That's good news. We love it when I don't have any discrepancies. I was cracking up at how many of you noticed in my Etsy and YouTube cash stuffing from Wednesday that the dollar was missing from materials, because when I tell you, when I went back and edited that, I could not find the error. Now, in my defense, I was editing that while I was working on shop orders, and so my full focus wasn't on my video. It was on my shop orders, obviously. But I just was cracking up. I'm like, so many of you saw my error. I'm so grateful to you for it because I literally put the dollar in after I saw the first comment about materials. But I was just laughing that I didn't catch it when I was editing. So anyways, oh, I guess I can close this up. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I really, really appreciate it. Just so you know, either next week or the week after, maybe next week, I am going to go out on a limb. I've been so nervous to do it, which is why I didn't do it in the month of October, but I have to get it up in November for you guys. My how to put together a charcuterie board. I've talked about it on my channel before. It's something that I really like doing, and enough of you expressed interest in wanting to see it that I said that I would probably do it for either October or November for a little bit of bonus content, but also because then as we go into the holiday season, if you have some company coming over or you're going somewhere else, it's always a really nice thing. Charcuterie boards actually travel reasonably well if you wrap them. So if you want to go somewhere and bring just a little charcuterie board, I'm probably just going to make a small one on my channel because the principle is the same, no matter the size. And I'm saying this as a person who I actually did a charcuterie table for the wedding of a friend of mine. And the principle is the same, whether you have a teeny little one in front of you or a big giant table. If I can find some pictures of it, I will throw it up so that you guys can see the table that I did. It was so much fun. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Look forward to either next week or the week after the charcuterie how-to. If you enjoyed today's video, though, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up for me. Leave me a comment down below. Say hi. Chat it up with me. Are you a charcuterie fan? And do you like yours with like specific wines? Like, do you get into it like that? Or are you just like, give me all the meats and cheeses? Because that's more how I am. I do love a good glass of wine, but I'm not funny about pairings or anything like that. So anyways, say hi in the comments below. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would so love it if you did. And then I am actually going to catch you guys on Monday with a good old-fashioned cash stuffing. So you at least have that to look forward to from me. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. The weather's cooling down here in DFW, so I'm really just Oh man, I'm soaking this cool weather up. I hope that the weather is lovely wherever you guys are. You enjoy some time with family, friends, just yourself, because that's fun too. And I'll see y'all on Monday. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.